like I see you every 4 months now.
man, it's a regular thing for us.
It is.
I
We've
like it.
got a little dynamic going on.
Cool. We're friends now.
Are we?
I don't know, are we?
I don't know. I don't know if you want to be my
Maybe.
friend. I get a lot of heat sometimes.
Yeah, I got enough friends anyway. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody. It's me, Nick Hausman from Haus of Wrestling. We're live here at the Royal Rumble Media Junket, and I'm joined right now by the Alpha Academy's Chad Gable. Chad, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
So are you the leader of Alpha Academy?
I am the leader, the founder, the CEO, whatever positions are the top level, that's me.
Wonderful. Well, you know, you guys have been spending a lot of time with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile recently. Are you interested in recruiting them, bringing them into Alpha Academy full-time?
I mean, I feel like they got their own thing going. They're not really, I've offered them some of my training services. They turned me down twice. So, like, what an insult to the master. Right. Okay. Plus, I got Tozawa to look after now. I got Maxine. I mean, roster's full, man. But we're coming out with a website. For those of you that don't know, we will be accepting applications. I'm not saying we're going to sign anybody. Applications will be available, though.
Well, you've also had a chance recently to go down to NXT and compete down there again. How has it been going back to the yellow and black brand after spending so much time on the main roster?
That was awesome. It was like, it came out of nowhere. Like, they just told us, hey, you guys are going to go down there and do some matches. I didn't even know what we were doing when we went down there until I talked to Sean, and he explained some stuff, and Sean was so cool and got my input on things, which isn't always the case, you know, so that was neat. And to be back in front of that crowd who, you know, they're a very distinct and unique crowd to themselves. They know what they like, and they've always been that way. And when I got back in front of them, I was just reminded of that, thrust right back into that, like, 2015, 2016 time frame, which I remember so fondly. But what I will say about it is, like, that's the most relaxed I've been performing that I can remember with this company. Like, just going back there with Otis by my side, in that setting, in that venue, like in the place where I used to train like every day. It was like so cool, man. It was awesome. Well,
you and Otis, such a great tag team, but he's been teaming with Tozawa. Do you consider yourself fully a singles star now?
I'd like to. I think maybe I'll say like 2023 might have been my breakout as a singles guy, and now 2024 might be my chance to solidify myself as that, whether it's through continuing to have these matches with like top elevated guys, but in my opinion, it's time for me to win a singles championship. In 2024, it's going to be the time to do that.
Absolutely, man. Well, looking ahead to WrestleMania here, I mean, there is a lot going on at the moment. Yeah. Who would you ideally like to see yourself sharing the ring with when it comes to Mania?
So personally, I'm not finished with Gunther. I never have been. I never got done with him. But we'll see how things shake out. You never know. It's kind of out of my control at this point. Even if I had any control, things change so quickly here on on a daily basis in this place. You see the returns of people out of nowhere that no one expected, people popping in and out, you see injuries happen. So, like, what's the point of planning? You just, like, go with the flow, and when something comes your way, over-deliver, and that's what I always intend to do and try to do. So,
you know, you gave me a great setup to my follow-up question, Chad, because you talk about how day-to-day things change week to week, and you have been embroiled in a program with the Viking Raiders. When we talked at SummerSlam, we were talking about this Viking rules match, right? And like how you took this and you made it your own and you really enjoyed it. Sure. Here we are. It's Rumble. You guys are still very much engaged with the Viking Raiders. How is it getting to have that much time to really work with a group of people and mine what you guys can do?
It's so cool, and what's cool about it is, so I had the match with Ivar Monday. That was our first singles match with me and him. So we've been involved with each other going back as far as you said, but we're still getting new versions of these matches, right? So it keeps it fresh, and that dude is so awesome. Like, he's had the last like 3 months on his own to just like show the world what he can do. Talk about over delivering. Like, every chance he gets, he just kills it. So we're gonna, like, I don't get sick of it when it stays fresh and new like this, especially with a driven guy. And I have my own, like, I think I would like to do a new version of the Viking rules match, which we already did. They haven't done a mixed Viking rules match yet, so he's got a girl by his side. I got access to Maxine. I got access to Ivy Nile now. So what about a mixed Viking ship rules match, whatever you want to call it? And we'll see what kind of carnage we can come up with from that.
All right, last question here. Now, there's been a big return to the W. There's been a couple big returns since we last talked, but the big one, I think, is CM Punk. Now, very controversial guy. A lot of people have opinions about CM Punk. How do you feel about Punk? How do you feel about him being back in the mix?
So, Punk was on his way out right when I was kind of coming in, right? And he admired and you know, what you might say controversy multiple times throughout. But
let's take a break. I don't know. There's a bunch of yelling.
New Day Carnage. That's what we call New Day Carnage down there. Anytime those rascals get together.
Anyway. I don't think they can hear on my microphone. Anyway, back to what you were saying. Sorry.
So Punk, just so you know, yes, I'm not ashamed to admit I used to have the ice cream bar shirt. I used to have the Best in the World shirt. I was a fan before I was a wrestler, but that is no longer the case, my friend. I welcome you back. You're good for business. He's a good guy to have around, a veteran. But I think the proper way to welcome him back might be with a couple Chad Gable German suplexes to remind him where he's at and who he's dealing with these days. Anytime he's ready, check it out.
Goosebumps right there, dude. Goosebumps. Chad, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. It's always good catching.
Thanks.